Keep going down the hall. There is a perfectly clear directly ahead of you. Start left on the skytrain. The elevator.
头看我就行了。 定照张项目先。
It's a real scuba diver and lots of fish. Yeah. Fishies. We're feeding the fish.
Started with our next scuba diver presentation here. So if you'd like to join us, please make yourselves comfortable. Go ahead and have a seat on the benches, or you're welcome to have a front row seat right here on the carpeted area. I just ask that we please keep our fingers and toes on this side of the metal bumps. I don't want to step on anybody as I walk back and forth.
No, ya no. No, sí, sí, sí.
Pleasure to introduce all of you to our dancing dog lady. This is Diver Kim. Hey Kim.
Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us here today. How's everybody doing out there?
Wonderful. I think everyone is having a great day so far. How are things inside the exhibit today?
It is wonderful in here.
I have a secret to tell you all. Can I tell them?
Yes.
Today's Diver Kim's birthday. So she decided to have an underwater dance party with all of you for her birthday today.
Yes, I am so excited to celebrate it with all of you today.
How fun. So Diver Kim, what is it like to be a scuba diver here at the Seattle Aquarium?
Well, it's very exciting because I not only get to come into this environment and have a close-up view with some of my very favorite fish, but also I can talk while I'm underwater, which is really fun because we can have a chance to learn a little bit more about this environment and some of our underwater neighbors.
Absolutely. We use some cool technology here at the Seattle Aquarium, not only in our exhibits, but also when we dive in the field and do research. And it all comes down to this full face mask. I'm going to walk around so you can take a sneak peek inside. There's a little red microphone that sits inside of the mask. And that's what carries Ken's voice to the speakers above your head, and the whole system works in reverse as well. So everything that my microphone picks up comes back down that red cable, which is our communication line, to her underwater earphones. It's also how we can pipe in some sweet tunes and she can have a dance party. It works at many, many levels.
Here in our local waters. And that allows dive buddies to talk with each other and also be supported from the surface. It's called a yellow eye rockfish. And this type of fish is a very long-lived fish. They have the potential to live well over 100 years. This individual is estimated to be about 60 years old and doing really well still.
Yes.
So maybe only middle age at this point.
This individual fish has lived in our care at the Seattle Aquarium since we opened in 1977. So he's a pretty special fish. We estimate 60 years old, as Kim mentioned. But really the only way that you can tell the true age of a fish is when it has reached the end of its life and we look at their ears. You may be thinking to yourself, what does that mean? How do you age a fish by looking at their ears or their otoliths?
The scientists that analyze ear bones or otoliths can take a very thin slice and look under a microscope and count the rings on the ear bone, kind of like counting rings on a tree. And that indicates the number of years that fish has been alive.
I'm going to walk around here, Kim. I've got a couple of ear bones or otoliths from some pups. So pollock is a native species here in the Pacific Northwest. They've got fairly large ear bones. And again, taking a look at those ear bones under a microscope, you count the rings just like the rings of a tree, and voila. That's how you can tell the age of a fish.
And that is really important information with a fish like rockfish, because they not only live a long time, but they mature very slowly. They reach a reproductive age late in their life. In the case of the yellow-eyed rockfish, they might not have babies until they're 15 or 20 years old. And knowing that life cycle is very helpful in managing the populations as well.
So even though we have a lot of these animals in our care, there are so many questions that we have about just the basic biology of many animals that live in the marine environment that we're still trying to answer. So having partnerships with other researchers and local universities allows us to work very collaboratively and better understanding what these animals need to survive not only in our care but also in the wild. The rockfish, really long lifespan. On the exact opposite end of the spectrum would be these silvery fish. Does anyone recognize these silvery fish schooling up above? Their name starts with the letter S.
These are
salmon.
Yes.
Got it.
And these are two of the 7 species that are found in the Pacific Northwest. We're looking at some coho salmon and some sockeye salmon in here. In their ocean-going phase, salmon begin their life in freshwater rivers and streams, and they move out to the ocean, spending 2 or more years out in the ocean, and then they'll swim all the way back to that home river when they're ready to spawn near the end of their life.
I don't know about you. I think it's pretty remarkable that a salmon that's born in a river stream and swims well over 1,000 miles finds their way back to the very place where they were born. They've got 10,000 rivers and streams to choose from here in the Salish Sea alone. So how do they find their way home? Does anyone know? Does anyone know the secret of the salmon's migration? How do they find their way home, Kim?
They can smell their way home. As they make their way down the river out to the ocean, the smells are imprinted on their brain, and they can find their way back home by tracing that all the way back to where they were born.
I think that's pretty incredible. And you may wonder, well, why would a salmon invest that much energy in traveling that long distance, leaving the rivers and streams? And it really comes down to food. Salmon grow very quickly, but they don't live a terribly long lifespan. And so heading out to the open ocean, where there's a lot of nutritious food available to them, allows them to get as big and strong as possible. And that's the stored energy that's going to help them all the way when they come back to that freshwater stream or river. And so when they come back, they're not eating anymore. They have one last mission in life, and that is to spawn, and the cycle starts all over again.
In the exhibit here, we bring the food to the salmon, and I'll show you a little bit of that krill and other tiny little plankton that they would be looking at, swimming towards to find in the ocean. That's the same food we feed them here in the exhibit.
You bet. In my tray here, I've got some models of some of the food that Diver Kim has in her goodie bag. We've got krill, squid, anchovies, herring and mackerel, really good, nutritious food for these fish, and it is all sustainably harvested. Yeah, that's the krill right there. Krill is hands down a favorite for our salmon, but krill is a foundational species for the ocean food web. There are lots and lots of animals that live in our one big ocean that survive on krill at some point in their life cycle. Does anyone know what the largest animal on the entire planet happens to be? What is it? Do you know what the largest animal is? Blue whale. It is a whale, and it's my favorite color. It's the blue whale. And the blue whales One would barely fit in this room that we're standing and sitting in right now, and yet they survive on a diet of this itty-bitty krill. Just a small example of how important krill really is for the health of the ocean food web.
It's a little bit bigger. The silverfish here is an anchovy, and also an important food source for a lot of animals in our ocean. Like those rockfish that we were talking about earlier, they have a little bit bigger mouth than the salmon, and they can swallow an anchovy whole.
They don't even bother chewing their food.
They do not. But they're not always hungry, where salmon are always eating. The rockfish may choose to eat or not, and that's okay.
Now, you may be observing these two large orange fish. We met them a little earlier. Again, they are yellow eye rockfish. What you're seeing here is courtship behavior. So a little fish flirting. This is a male and a female, and they are a bonded pair. So the female becomes gravid or pregnant, usually about 3 or 4 times a year. And rockfish are an example of a species of fish that does not lay eggs. They give live birth. And when you've got a big, mature, 60 or 70-year-old female like this one is here, you could potentially, she could potentially give birth, this is a female, to 2 million babies at a time. So we need those big, old fish out there in the wild, because the older they are, the more energy they can invest in the reproductive phase of their life, and they'll have more babies, which is good for the wild population. And so, you hand feed the rockfish and they just come right up to you if they're hungry.
Yes.
They are indeed. All of these animals live together and work together in this underwater community. Oh, do we have some folks from Washington State here today? Any local folks? Okay. Who is visiting from another country outside of the United States? Fantastic. Who's visiting the Seattle Aquarium for the very first time today? Wow, wonderful. Well, thank you and welcome everyone. Again, this is a little sneak peek at our underwater neighbors, our underwater world, and specifically this habitat is a replica of a real dive site that we go out and do research and animal collecting along the coast of Washington in an area called Nia Bay, which is at the very tip of the Olympic Peninsula. It's a pretty special place.
It is. It's beautiful out there. It takes a little bit of effort to get to our coast because it is very rugged.
Sorry. Sorry.
Yes. Let's put it this way. I dove on a ship in Hawaii that's been down there since World War II. There's nothing living there.
Like Bailey. He's like, man.
Fishy! It's only in Hawaii. You're so cute! Oh my god!
Whoa, Dad!
What do you want me to do?
Dad!
No, I'm just saying. Look at the rainbow.
Okay, why do you want me to take a picture?
Ooh, look at that! Look at all the that! Oh my gosh! What is that?
This is the birds and mammals exhibit. Birds and mammals exhibit. There's a bird. Yeah.
called like The Future is Wild. And there's these birds on the side of his head. Then it worked. Fish died out. And then take them to grow up elsewhere. Salmon. These ones are Chinook. Yeah, I think their other name is King. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yes.
There's so many. There's so many.
There's something right up there, but
And there are clams on the That's a sea otter.
Oh, no, I see his tail.
And that's something. There's a jellyfish! There's a jellyfish!
Llamaron a mí, no te dije que iban a cambiar a mí porque estaba miada. Se dio por
wheel's moving.